All right, YouTube, how we doing? I'm actually kind of excited but nervous to make this video. Never actually made a full-length talking video kind of explaining, who I am and, where I come from and kind of my upbringing and some backstory. So I guess I'll just start that I grew up in Arizona, and I've still live here. I basically have lived here my whole life, and I grew up playing sports. I was always playing football, and that was always my dream as like a young kid, was to be a football player. And long story short, I ended up getting injured, and it kind of just pushed me in a different direction, which was actually modeling. If you guys have been following me, or if you know who I am, that's kind of how I started social media in the first place. Was I started to travel, which was such a blessing, and just be able to model and kind of travel the world. So when I was 17 years old, I ended up moving to LA with my mom, actually, and what an amazing experience it was. We were in some like shared living situation. I don't even remember. We had like a room together, but there was like other people literally living there. It was very interesting, but we made the best out of it. And I want to say that was like 3 months, and this is when I was 17, so I'm 26 now. So this is 9 years ago. It's crazy. But we probably lived in that situation for like 3 months, and it was a good experience. I was going to castings, I was trying my best, and I started to realize very quickly how competitive the modeling space was, and how hard it was going to be to kind of become a successful model, as I really aspired to be when I was that age. And then I ended up meeting a manager who ended up being a disaster, but I ended up moving in with him. And when I say we lived in like probably like no more than 300 square foot, one studio thing, and it was like 4 of us. It was a really, really crazy time. And yeah, I did not like living there. And a lot of the things you'll hear about the modeling industry are probably true. There's a lot of crooked people. There's a lot of people that will take advantage of you, especially when you're young and you don't know any better. You're just trying to live out there and just trying to do something with your life, and these people are promising you stuff and then threatening you if you try to leave them, or so there's a lot of crooked people, man. And I unfortunately ran into that, and that was another very hard living situation for me that I had to kind of crawl my way out of, luckily. But on the bright side, I met some great people, and still was able to create good memories while I was there. And then what happened after that? I ended up reaching out to my agency and being like, look, I don't have a place to live, and I can't live here anymore. So like, I'm either gonna have to go back to Arizona, or like I need like a living situation, and I can't really afford like living in LA currently. It's just so expensive, and I didn't have like someone at the time that would room with me. So long story short, I got myself into another living situation, which was better, but I was just on the couch of this like older lady's place. That's a long story, but that was another really crazy living situation for me. And I was there for probably 6 to 8 months. It had to be a decent amount of time. And this lady ended up being really crazy, and I felt like I was overpaying because it was literally a 1-bedroom apartment. I was on the couch. I was paying like $1,000 a month to be on the couch in a 1-bedroom apartment in LA, and it was just too much, And yeah, there was a lot more going on. I won't go into too much detail there, but it was just a very weird, another weird living situation, and yeah, it ended up becoming kind of terrible, and I really wanted to get out of it. So yeah, I mean, I found myself in bad living situations, a couple times because I was really just trying to live there and really just trying to become something. And I didn't even know what I was chasing, but I was just, out there and trying to do my best. And, unfortunately got into some bad living situations, but my next living situation after that ended up being a lot better. And even though it was a 2-bedroom apartment with like 10 dudes, and it was a creative living situation where you had to be like a model, an actor, a singer, something like creative in that space to be able to like apply to live like in these creative living situations that they offer. So obviously it was a lot cheaper for me, and yeah, I met a lot of great guys there. A lot of them are doing very well now, and that was a great opportunity, and it was fun, man. I mean, we were young. There was 10 of us. It was crazy, but that's just kind of how it was back then, and all those guys are great, and like I said, they're all doing well now, doing their own thing, and so yeah, that was my final living situation in LA. I know the LA thing kind of lasted a while. It was probably like 1.5 2 years, at least. And then I ended up moving to Asia, and living in Asia, I went to the Philippines specifically, and ended up living there for 4 months, and I was on a modeling contract there, and obviously the living situation there was way better. But yeah, that was a great experience. Probably some of the most fun I've ever had. Probably some of the most degenerate activities that I've done during that time. And if you were there, you know that there was a lot of fun that was being had, and a lot of great memories with a lot of great people. So I lived there for 4 months, and then I ended up moving to Bangkok for 3 months on another contract, another modeling contract. And yeah, so I ended up I remember it was creeping up around the time where it was getting to like COVID. I remember it was I think it was just coming out or something maybe. And so long story short, I ended up not, after that 3-month contract in Bangkok, which it was literally that Bangkok trip was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. So many great memories again, so many degenerate things going on, but I was also 18, 19 at the time, so yeah, I just was living and partying and going to castings and just enjoying myself, man. It was a great time. The living situation there was a little bit crazier. I think I lived with 5, 6 guys at a time, and we had these rules. It was, a little intense, but overall, 10 out of 10 experience. Would definitely recommend Southeast Asia. Super fun. But I ended up moving back, and this was, the year of COVID, and obviously I didn't really have much money because I wasn't really making a ton of money out there in Asia. And if you've been following me for a while, this was kind of the spark of a lot of male models and a lot of guys that I was friends with and kind of even looked up to at the time were doing, OF. So I ended up kind of following the train, and, looking back, I wish I would have done a lot of things differently, but I live with that, and I kind of just have to learn from my past. And the thing is, besides OF just bringing income and money, there's really not a lot of good things about it, to be honest. It's a lot of work, and at the end of the day, you're only born with one reputation, and it can kind of tarnish that a little bit for sure. So, I don't frown upon anyone for doing it, or, am gonna judge you, because I'm literally, literally still have mine. And, but yeah, I can just say that, in my opinion, a lot of guys can come up to me now and like they want to like ask me for advice or anything on like stuff, and I'm like, you only have one reputation. And looking back again, I would have changed a lot of things, and I can't go back in time now, so I kind of just have to live with my decisions. And I would definitely recommend people to try to make money in other ways. But long story short, if you've been following me for a while, I started OF around that time. I think this was 2021, early 2022, around when COVID was happening. And then, so to be completely transparent, that is, basically where I made all of my money from. It's luckily, I still got caught into the whole like buying nice cars, and I have a nice car right now, or like just buying a lot of stuff that you don't need and wasting a lot of money. But luckily I was able to invest and save, and try to at least set myself up as best as I could, because I understood the risk of doing OF, and I understood that it could potentially halt me from different career paths down the line, like in my future. So, and I still have to live with that, but that's okay. And so I've been doing that since 2021, so now it's 2025, so about 4.5 years or so. Met a lot of good people in those couple years, but I can say that I met a lot of scummy people as well, and I just feel like a lot of people in that industry aren't really like amazing people to be around. That's just not me. That's really not who I am. I really try to pride myself on being a good person, and I know I've made a lot of mistakes and costly ones as well, but I'm just trying to learn from them and grow, and try to be the best person I can be. So now I'm 26 years old. I feel like an old man. I'm just trying to get my life together, trying to work on other things and trying to improve every aspect of my life the best that I can. And that's, we'll see what my next journey is. Right now, I've really been working on, my coaching and trying to help you get into the best shape possible. That's one thing I've really been able to hold on to, and that's one thing I've actually been able to learn a lot about, and I'm super, passionate about health and fitness in the gym, and just having like the impact that it has on your mental health and all that stuff. And so I am working on that now full time, basically. If you want to work with me, whether it be fitness, personal branding, growing your socials, all that stuff, I do offer that, and you can send me a direct message on Instagram. My Instagram is Wyatt Cushman, at just WYATTCUSHMAN. I will link it down below. But that's a quick backstory about me. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I didn't cover. I still live in Arizona, and I'm super blessed to have a great family, and they've always supported me. Even with OF and stuff, they've always been supportive and understanding and just want the best for me. And I think I'm starting to grow up and want the best for myself as well. And I understand that, you know, it's not going to be like a long-term, you know, thing, and I don't want it to be. So just trying to grow, you know, just trying to do new things and push myself. And yeah, this is the start of something new. So if you're here, this will technically be my first video. And if you made it all the way through, thank you so much for watching. I mean, hopefully I didn't bore you to death. I've definitely lived a pretty insane life, to be honest. It's, you know, a lot of ups and downs and sideways and mistakes and, you know, things that I can only learn from and be thankful for. So yeah, this is going to be the start of my channel, guys. So I really hope that you know, this video, you made it through and I didn't bore you, but just wanted to give you a backstory on me and kind of tell you who I am. And yeah, I just want to inspire people to, you know, be the best versions of themselves and, you know, get in great shape, eat healthy, you know, all that stuff, all those healthy habits that I follow every single day. I really do try to, you know, walk the talk, and anything that I'm giving you guys for advice or in my plans, in my course for social media and all this stuff, this is all things that I've done, all things that I've learned. And yeah, if you want to reach out to me directly, I will have my Instagram linked below, so you guys can go check me out there. And yeah, so I will see you guys on the next one. Let me know if you want more talking videos like this and stuff, and I really hope you appreciate it. So, well, I really appreciate you guys watching this if you made it all the way through. So see you guys on the next one. Peace.